Hi, welcome back to DIY with Jeannie. If this is your first time, welcome. I am so glad you came with us. If you were sent here by a friend, thank you, friend. And if you were notified by YouTube, well, thank you, YouTube. I appreciate that so much. But if this is your first time, we do a lot of sewing. We do a lot of different crafting on here. And so today we are going to, this is the mug rug we made a couple of times ago, and we made that fairly good size piece of our own fabric by piecing all of these things together. So we're going to take some more of those pieced and rearrange them, put some together in a different way, and we're going to make this little bag, and we are still going to end up with a piece this size left over for a future project. So we're not going to throw that away either. So this is the little bag that we're going to make today, and you can carry it with you. What I plan on doing is a keychain on one end, carabiner on the other, and I'll be able to put it on my bag as I carry it. I can hook it inside the bag or outside the bag and put my chapstick, put change, put money, put whatever I need in here, and have it all together with the keys that I need and what have you. So stick around, see how we get this all put together, and if you haven't already subscribed, please do so. If you like what you see today, please give us a thumbs up. So hang on and let's make a bag. So these are the scraps we have to work with from our mug rug to add to this particular project. So I'm going to start by putting this piece on, and we want to make sure it's nice and straight. And that last one, because we cut it at the angle, it is just going to be a little bit more complex. So you can see I've got this great big square, and then I've got these little pieces left over. And let me just go ahead and put it up to that. So we're going to put it together like that. So we're going to go back and sew this and see how much we have left over. I mean, there's going to be quite a bit that we're going to cut off. We're going to have a little trim area here to get this piece. So I'm going to go run this seam and iron it, and we will then come back and look at our piece and decide where to go from there when making this coin purse. So let me go get this piece sewn on, and I will be right back. Okay, so here is our piece, and remember, it was crumbs. It was just pieces, and we didn't care how big or small or how it was angled. So this is what we have left, and I want to now square this up so that I can use it. But again, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how big it is. It doesn't matter the angle of the pieces. What matters is that I get square pieces to use. So we're going to trim off this side, square that up, and that will give us two squared off sides. So I lined it up on a straight line with this bottom because I know that piece is straight. And now I have a 90-degree angle, and I've got two sides that are straight. So now I can move it a little bit differently. Now I've got a straight edge over here. So I'm going to put my lines up on it. See how I'm lining it with a straight edge on this side. And I want to move it down so that I get to this corner. So now I am going to cut that little piece off. I did not get through that corner. It's a real thick corner there. There we go. Got that off. So these are not trash. Those are not big enough to use for crumbs. Now, I say that. I know people who do little pieces, and they'll do paper piecing. So what happens is this is then folded over a little piece of paper and ironed, and that's great. And as much as I love doing miniatures, I don't love doing those miniatures. So now we want to go and do the same thing here. So again, I've got two edges. The top and the bottom are straight, and that top doesn't look straight, so I'm going to come back and look at that in a minute. So now we want to cut this side off. There's that. Let me look at that top one more time, because that just did not appear straight to me. So we know those are straight. Let me just shave off just a hair. There we go. And there we go. Now we have straight edges. So now I have a little square that I can now use. So now let's look at the other pieces that we have. My nose just now decided to start running. How rude. So we have these two. We have this big one. We have this one. So let's see. What can we do to maybe incorporate most of it and try to get as much from this as we can. So if we put that piece together, okay, and then we'll put this piece on here. So let's sew these three together, see how much we have left over there. So I'll be right back. Let's go sew a straight line. All I'm doing is sewing a straight line. My goal is not to teach you to use the sewing machine, but to teach you to do things with it. So right now, we're just sewing straight lines. So let me go take care of this real quick. Okay, here is this piece, and I still have these two, which I will sew together to make another little rectangular piece, and then we'll put all of these together and have a bigger piece of material that I can use for a quilt square. But let's square this one off first. So I don't think I have a square side on it at all. Let's see. How bad are you? Okay. Let's do this. That on that line, so we get a square bottom. Okay, we have this side squared off, so let's do up here. Okay, we're going to turn it again. Now I have two edges that are squared. So I'm going to put that along the line and this along this line. And we want to get as big a piece of material as we can from this. So that's why you always square off as close as you can to an already existing edge. So let me get scissors. Oh, there we go. It's just a piece of string. Okay. And last edge. Again, I'm going to put all the three sides that I have that I've already squared on edges. See, there we go. Lay it down, lay this on this side. And you can see I'm completely squared up. And I'm going to take that little tiny piece off the top. There I have this piece and this piece. and we will go sew these two together because we want to save as much of the fabric as we can, and this is not difficult. So I'm going to put it on, and I'm just going to go seam that line real quick, and we'll come back and square it off and see what we have. Okay, there's our last pieces. Let's get them pretty squared. You know, we're going to do a fairly good job here. So let's see. I can cut that. Gets a very tiny bit off. Okay, now we put that against a straight edge. And I am going to line it up. See how little we can take off? Well, I'll do the same thing on the top. And just take a sliver off of it. All we're looking to do is make sure we have straight edges. We can do anything with straight edges. Now this is where we're going to lose a little bit more, because those beiges are a little taller. But to have only lost that much fabric, that's not bad. Now let's see. If I put these together, will that give me a little bit more than the width that I need? So we could overlap it to our seam allowance. See, and that gives us quite a big piece of fabric. But I don't need it for this one, so I'm going to put this aside because then I still have this piece of fabric that I can use later.